Yeah, hey guys. I was talking to a mate of mine the other day and he told me pretty well much I should get a bit of paper and write down a lot of my achievements. But I might as well just tell you guys a few of them as I constantly get new followers on my page and don't know nothing about me as such. So, started running when I was 6 years old and, and long story short, parents split up, a bit of trauma, joined the army, started doing running races in the army, started coming first, second, third, first, second, first. And then I got into triathlons, and at that age, 20, 22, 23, I couldn't even swim, virtually 50 meters of a swimming pool. And so I'd come out of the swim last, got on the bicycle, and started catching a few people, catching up, get 15th place, 10th place, and then the time I hit my run, I'd come back up to third place, fourth place. So I'd done a bit more training and started coming third and second, and then started winning some races. And I've raced quite a fair few triathlon races on the Gold Coast and Sunshine Coast, and then Olympic distances, and I did my first half Ironman on the Gold Coast, and then I did a tendon in my ankle because I was overtraining, pushing myself too much, and really learnt how to overcome an injury. I had shin splints for over a year and a half when I was in the army with army boots and stuff, overtraining. I was a lot more stronger, a lot more bigger, doing a lot more heavier weights and stuff, a lot of push-ups and pull-ups and everything. Did a half Ironman over in Busselton in Western Australia, did a triathlon race, couple in Canberra, Sydney, couple of half Ironmans in Adelaide, in Murray Bridge in Adelaide and Adelaide City itself. Did Arafura Games in Darwin, if anyone knows about Arafura Games. Raced in Townsville. I also did biathlons, if anyone knows what biathlons. Some of you think obviously it's like running and cycling. No, it's actually shooting and skiing. So I did that down in the Snowy Mountains and Hotham and that. Did my first, and did a half Ironman in Hawaii. I did a World Championship long course, which is between a half Ironman and an Ironman. I did a long course World Champs in Germany and I placed 11th. Did a half Ironman in Thailand and came first, and Olympic distance over there comes second, so I'm actually Asian champion in Asia. Did another half Ironman in Hawaii, so I've done two half Ironmans in Hawaii. I placed fourth in the half Ironman, all because I got food poisoning. I did an Ironman, my first full Ironman in Melbourne, and I did a half Ironman Olympic distance in Croatia. I was training in Croatia also, and I did a full Ironman in Switzerland in Zurich, and then I did the World Championships Ironmans in Kona in Hawaii, racing for 8 years, doing all that. And then I had a break from that and went into long distance running. Back when I was at school, I used to raise money for Golden Circle, going around door knocking and raising money to buy these things on Golden Circle. When I was I was in the army and I was in Tonga. Back when I was at school also, I started cutting hair for my brothers and my neighbours. So when I was in Tonga, I cut all the army guys' hairs and charged them $10, $15, $20, raised up $500 and gave the money to the Red Cross over in Tonga. After my Ironmans, I started raising money. I raised $2,000 or $3,000 for some cancer thing, and that got me a slot in a half Ironman over in Hawaii. So then I started putting my racing bike in Byron Bay and raising money that way. So like cycling, busking in the main street on a wind trainer. And then after that, I did a treadmill and started running in Byron Bay, raising money on a treadmill. And then I did Sydney to Wollongong, 88 kilometres in one day. And then I did my next biggest run was Brisbane to Byron Bay, 180 kilometres in 23 hours and 40 minutes. And then my next big one after that was from Sydney, Bronte near Bondi to Byron Bay, 25 days I ran. That was my next biggest run I ever done, apart from running 3, 4, 5 days worth of marathons in northern New South Wales. And then after that, I went and ran across 2 days across Indonesia. And then after I went and ran across Belgium, which isn't that big. And then I came back and I got on obviously newspapers and TVs and started raising money for. Then I ran across Australia for the Royal Flying Doctors, 3,100 kilometres across Australia, 47 days, average 68 kilometres a day, pushing my 80 kilo trolley. And then I did Sydney to Melbourne. No, then I did across England, 2.5 days across England. All this with no support cars. And then I did Sydney to Melbourne in gumboots. So Sydney to the top of Mount Kosciuszko, the highest mountain in Australia, in 11 days. Leaving Sydney straight away, I did 24-hour run straight off the bat, 36 hours. And then I did another 2-day run coming into Canberra. I ran for 2 days straight, so another 36, 48 hours sort of style. And then I did Sydney to Brisbane, Byron Bay again. So I've done that twice now. And then I did on a 12-foot stand-up paddleboard called a Hobie Mirage Eclipse. No support boat. I went from Byron Bay to Airlie Beach, 1,000 kilometres in the middle of the ocean, 74 days solo, as I said, with no support boat, raising money for sea bins. And then I obviously done a lot of other running in between and many other runs here and there. So forth, and 10 years of running, the past 10 years now. All my runs were been in thongs. And one day I was sponsored by Havaianas, and when I started running in Havaianas, they have PVC plastic in their thongs, so it started crippling my foot. And then that's when I first chucked on my Roo Runner socks I made at the time, and I started running in the socks. So yeah, I've been doing all these big runs now in thongs for the past 7 years. It's called Marathon or Ferris Flip Flops, and then the Roo Runners. So yeah. And then obviously I just did Cairns to Cape York, up to the tip to Bemiga. And then as a lot of you might have just seen, I smashed Townsville to Cairns, 325 Ks in 2 days, 5 hours, 53 hours straight. And 6 pairs of thongs, pushing 20 kilo trolley. And now obviously I'm going to, and I ran across Tasmania, forgot one, with a wheelbarrow and a bar fridge. And then obviously from up the last half of the Cape was with a wheelbarrow, hence the Wheelbarrow Man name. And yeah, run across Merrick's been a big dream of mine too. So now this is where it's at, and this is where I'm about to go on and do this. So yeah, yeah. How am I feeling about it all? Yeah, kind of a little bit crazy in a way. I haven't got my big running trolley. This running trolley is my fast one, even though the other one's fast, but it's more slim and small, so I'm minimised to amount of gear or equipment I can take, so I'm really limited to space. I'm really sort of shooting myself in the foot in that sense. But I know all the Australian roads, and over in America I don't. So I don't. My other big running trolley is humongous. It is three deckers, so it's, it's massive. When it coming down the highway, it looks huge. I had one point in Sydney when I was running up through North Shore. For anyone who knows northern part of Sydney Northern Beaches there. There was this tight section on the road, and it was like peak hour in the afternoon, and there was no shoulder, and it had a concrete wall right up around, and I had to take the footpath, and coming halfway up the footpath, halfway up the hill, was the big poles and the big signs to say this town, this suburb, whatever. and got my trolley there, and it did not fit. So if I just went right over my trolley, it's hitting the axles, it did not fit. I had like 1 mil that it didn't fit, and I kind of had to squeeze it and jam it and push it and sort of bend it on an angle to get it through, and I just got it through. So like I said, over in America, I don't know the road, so I don't want to run that risk. I don't want to stand out like an eyesore, upset anybody. They're obviously got guns and shit over there. The police are not aware of me, where in Australia they are. So yeah, I don't want to put myself in a difficult situation if I don't need to. So there's a lot to factor in. Obviously sleeping in different territories, all out in the open, all out, you're very vulnerable. You're very, the safety's quite high, guys. Yeah, obviously it's mad over there. It's, so yeah, let's see how it goes. If I had the sponsors, I got no sponsors. I'm running on the wing of a prayer. I'm running also off the help and support of you guys, on top of my little bit of savings that I have, and hopefully it just catches on and it spreads, and my Roo Runner socks get out there and the Americans love it, and hopefully it blows up, and hopefully I just get a bit of support. Yeah. So yeah, I've trained, and I forgot to race also, but I trained in Utah, up in Salt Lake City, and up in Salt Lake City and up in Park. Anyway, up in the hills, up in the mountains there, Park. Anyway, and I did a race down in Texas at Lubbock. Did a half Ironman there. So yeah, I did my first marathon ever in San Francisco, and I did my first ever half marathon actually in Sydney. I still have the photo when I was in the army, short hair, you can imagine, on the Sydney Harbour Bridge, and did half marathons in Brisbane, many half marathons in Brisbane and stuff like that, and a lot of running. Yeah, so if anyone wants to help, want to sponsor us, act swiftly, please. If you've got stickers, anything, a hat, whatever, helps support. It's 4,400 kilometers across America. If I'm going to go off just the average of a marathon per day, my socks are hectic, next level. The pain threshold is like 300% compared to shoes, if not more. But anyway, you're looking at 105 days. So even if I can pull this down to 90 days or something, or 100 or whatever, 95. If I start getting up to 50 Ks to 60 Ks a day, then obviously it comes down. But, and plus the American exchange rate of our Australian $1 is actually 68. So $1 American dollar is 68 cents. That's how far my dollar's going to go. It's only going to get 68 cents worth. And if I'm looking at on the average of say $40 a day of food or whatever, because obviously the American exchange rate, I can't carry bulk food because I'm limited to the space and the weight. So yeah, every little bit helps. If someone can work out 4,400 kilometers and someone wants to help donate 1 cent a kilometer and wants to divide that by per week and want to help, donate us a weekly little whatever. Obviously when I get back, I can give you one of these hats and sign them and so forth. But yeah, if I can get someone on my page who wants to sort of step up and be one of my managers on the social media, it's a lot of social media work, and it's tiring and it's full on and it's stressful, and that's the last thing you need to do after 10-hour days of running is be on your phone at night time with the glare while you need to rest. And so much loneliness, and that's where it gets you the most, is the loneliness and the mental and emotional stress and stuff, which is a hectic challenge on top of the physical challenge and so forth. So there you go, guys. There's a little bit for you. I could go on a lot more about stuff, but I'll just leave it there. If you know anyone in the US, please reach out to them. Please share this. Please put down some comments. I would rather comments than likes, guys. I don't care about likes. I'm not in this for the likes. I only just started a social media page 2 months ago on my run from Cairns up to the Cape, so I was off it for quite some time. And I've lost my phones, many in the past, and I just got a new phone, and I've lost passwords, and my initial Facebook had 7,000 followers. Took me 3-4 years to build it up to that, and I lost that, and then I restarted another one, and plus a couple of thousand followers on Instagram platforms, and started again, another 1,000 or so, lost them again. And then I got my other Facebook page, I got up to another 7,000 followers just before the COVID fraud, and then they wiped me and deleted it completely. My business page of world records, talking at schools, newspapers, personal stuff, friends, family all over the world. They took it all away from me, gone, zero. Now that's why I'm starting again. I've only just got 995 followers. So yeah. So if you know anyone, reach out. Your contact's important, your support's important, and thank you very much. And sit back and enjoy my journey. It's not over to the Fat Lady Sings, so until I get on that plane on Friday, I'm not holding my breath a lot until I get on that plane. And so forth. So I've got to, they expect a few criterias when you get over there, return tickets or a ticket out of there and X amount of money to prove you can stay and look all that, blah, blah, blah. So thanks guys, God bless you all. I've got the GoFundMe page there in the bio up top. So anyone who's helped donated before, thank you very much. I had a lady donate yesterday, so thank you, blessings to you all, and thanks very much guys, and thanks. Love yous all. God bless.